T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hi, my name is Doug. I'm the president of Guardians of the Purple Heart, and we are a 501c3 approved nonprofit organization based here in southeastern Connecticut that specializes in obtaining items or services for Connecticut combat wounded veterans that aren't being met by other organizations like the VA. So what we like to think is where the VA or these other establishments have to leave off because of their corporate red tape and limitations, we can come in behind them and fulfill these needs by reaching out to the community, working with our vast network of supporters, and just coming together as a whole and supporting these Purple Heart recipients and improving their overall quality of life. A lot of people ask us how do they get involved and how do they join in on the fun with us. A lot of things you could do. Follow us on Facebook, #1, Instagram, Twitter. Go to our website at gotph.org. You can send donations, send us a message. Spread the word of what we're doing. All the Connecticut Purple Heart recipients, we are out there trying to make a difference in their lives. So please give us a hand and join in on the fun.
Bring your appetite down to Big Belly Cafe, 140 Gore Street, Webster, Mass. for curbside, takeout, and indoor seating. Visit BigBellyCafe.com to view their hours, menu, and order online. For reservations, please call ahead at 508-949-2433. Follow Big Belly Cafe on Facebook for weekly and daily specials. And remember, all veterans receive a discount for their recognition of service. Big Belly Cafe. Reedy's Archery, located in Middleborough, Mass. at 121 Wood Street, has been a staple in the area since 1993 and has become the one-stop pro shop for competitive target archers and bow hunters from New England. Reedy's is open Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 p.m. to 4 p.m. Make sure to visit Reedy'sArchery.com and follow them on Facebook to keep up with upcoming events. Reedy's Archery, dedicated to the archer. Wolf Aviation Network is the only flight school in the area utilizing the Airwolf Simulator AATD and the specialized Part 61 training program designed to save students money while increasing safety and efficiency. Creating safe pilots is our first priority. Our flight sim is the perfect training device. It is designed to prepare students adequately before taking flight in our aircraft. Fly with us and save money. Wolf Aviation. Reserve your spot at 413-563-1929 and visit wolfaviationnetwork.com.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone, that's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fubar Studios. I'm your host, Doug, and I've got a special guest here with me today. I've got Craig with me here, and we're going to go off and we're going to talk about him. He's going to be able to give us a rundown of some of his background and as well as his things that he likes to do. So, Craig, I'm going to let you go ahead and hand it off to you, bud.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the offer to come on to your podcast. So, military stuff. I joined the Army, and believe it or not, 1978. I was a couple years out of high school. And I served from 78 to 92 active duty. And when they had the big drawdown, I got out in 92 on the VSI program, which was a variable separation incentive program. I remained in the IRR for a period of time. Then I went into a reserve unit. Then I went into a guard unit. And then I went back to active duty. So, and almost 33 years later, I retired. So, wow. It spanned a lot of time, but you got to go to a lot of places, see a lot of things, and really had a good time in my military career.
What was out of the 33 years, what was the most, I would say, adventurous place you've been?
Man, that's a tough question. So, my first duty station was Korea, and I was stationed in Korea. I had a great time there. I was single and out with the guys drinking every night, and that's part of military.
Oh, absolutely.
But I don't know. I would say Germany.
Yeah.
Me and my wife spent 3 years in Germany and absolutely loved it. I was in the field a lot, so we didn't get to make a lot of the big festivals and stuff, but we have always lived off base, no matter where we were. We always lived on the economy. We didn't live in government housing or anything like that. And I find that was better for us because we were more integrated into the communities. And even in Germany, we lived with a German family. We had an apartment upstairs, and we keep in contact with them today. And just love Germany, best place ever.
Wow. Yeah, no, I can just only imagine with a lot of that stuff that you got to go through and see. 'Cause I know there's a lot of festivals that Germany does have, like the whole beer festival and stuff like that, and have the big old beer steins and, drinking, and that's kind of amazing. I gotta say, I want to dive into these questions. Can you share some of your most significant challenges that you faced during your time into the military, and how did you overcome them?
Some of the things my wife's been with me almost my entire military career. It was like the first 4.5 years, I was single, and then we got married. And I think one of the biggest things is being separated during training exercises where you're gone for 30 days at a time, or a deployment. a combat deployment where you're gone for 12 months to 15 months. And I think having a good relationship that we have, and we've always, like I said, we integrated into our communities no matter where we were stationed.
Yeah.
I think that helped a lot. And it's just, I don't know. You kind of embrace the suck, so to speak, while it's happening. And you think, man, this really sucks. And then when you look back on it, yeah, it did, but it was worth every bit of it.
Yeah, because you probably would have, you probably would have been looking at it and like, wow, it was actually kind of fun, but yeah, it kind of sucked, but it definitely was fun. How was your military experience influenced you on your approach to leadership as well as teamwork in both your personal and professional life?
So I was really lucky. I never really had a super toxic leadership as I came up through the ranks. I went to Korea, came back. I went to Fort Campbell, where I became infatuated with aviation because we had a military police mission that flew around in an OH-58 doing oversight at night.
Yeah.
And I got to do that mission many times, and I really loved it. So re-enlistment time comes up. I had taken the Army's FAST test. That's the Flight Aptitude Selection Test to go to Warrant Officer Flight School.
Yeah.
I took that test. I scored really high on it. And went to flight school. I actually ended up having to have corrective surgery to my right hand because I got injured during a PT session and messed up my hand really bad. Of course, the only good thing is I met my wife while I was at Fort Rucker. So, we got married, then we went to Fort Bragg, and I've always had fantastic leadership as we went through. Some of the great leadership I had was, especially at Fort Bragg, being a high op tempo type of unit. Al Campbell was my platoon sergeant when I first got there. Great leader, really level-headed, and really pushed me to succeed. I made my E5, and actually I made my E6 based on being at Fort Bragg, because I left Fort Bragg in October of '87, and my promotion orders caught up to me when I got to Germany to E6. So that was pretty cool. But I've never had that super toxic leadership. Now, I had some lieutenants that were kind of knuckleheads and wanted us to do stupid shit, but they were far and few between. And it's helped me out in my civilian career as well. As you well know, I'm a police officer and still serving, basically. Not for much longer, but it's funny because I went from being a master sergeant operations guy for the military police, and then went and became a patrolman as a police officer. So I went from running things to being one of the doers, and I think I bring a lot of influence to the new officers coming in on how they look at their job and how they do their job. And I at least I hope I do, because I'm a little bit more mellow than your basic new guy coming on the job. But I've been doing that for 9 years.
Really?
So yeah, because I retired in 2011, and then I spent a couple of years with the Army Corps of Engineers, and it's right here in this area, as you well know.
Yeah.
And I worked with them for a couple of years, and then I did dispatch for a year, but sitting behind a desk really didn't fit my personality, or I felt horrible sitting there talking on the radio.
Yeah, no.
So,
I get it. It's
I got to be out there doing things.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the military career really helped me out as far as the transition into civilians. And of course, as you well know, in the military, you've got all the different leadership schools.
Yeah.
And one thing I find different is in the civilian sector, especially in law enforcement and stuff, the guys that get promoted, they really don't get that detailed leadership type of school. Whereas in the military, as you progress up, as you well know, you've got your and the names of them have all changed, but you had like PLDC, primary leadership, then your basic non-commissioned officer course, then your advanced non-commissioned officer course, and then that all rolls into the Sergeant Major's Academy at the end, which I did get selected for, but I had already retired. Hoorah! I couldn't wait.
No, absolutely. I don't blame you for getting to finally be able to retire. I mean, 33 years is a long career. Even
well,
when
that IRR time helped me a lot too.
Yeah, but you
because I did get.
You got to see a lot. It's like you got to see all the different years into it. Instead of just having one area of, like, say, the 70s and 80s, compared to, you got to see 70s, 80s, 90s, and then 2000s. So that's a big gap of being able to see that much time in.
Yeah, technically almost four major uniform changes.
Yeah, I can just so that would have been, well, you would have ended with the dress blues, right? With the the blues.
Yeah, but I'm talking more about the utility uniforms.
Oh,
when I came in, we had the permanent press greens. Fatigues, and then they went to BDUs.
Yeah.
The first iteration of BDUs, but I was stationed at Bragg, and right after Grenada, we all got issued all these old surplus uniforms. Basically, they were all new, but they were like slant pocket, OD green, jungle fatigues, and the slant pocket camo fatigues we had while I was at Bragg. Yeah. And my BDU sat in the closet because we were wearing all these other Gucci uniforms. Yeah. And then we had the BDUs, then the ACUs, and I got out right before they changed over to whatever the hell they're wearing now.
Yeah, the what is it, AG something? I know exactly the green ones that look. It's this I don't know how to explain it. It's just, I know that it's almost like spray paint, just kind of spots instead of digital, being that it's all the digital ACUs. But yeah, no, that's a big change. Then you got all your dress uniforms. Now they're back to the whole the World War II.
Yeah, the what do they call them? Pinks and greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool looking uniform.
Oh, it absolutely is. It's,
we went in the dress uniforms. I had the tan shirt at first with the greens, and then they went to the light green shirts.
Yeah.
And for your Class Bs, and of course I started off. We had khakis as well, and the khakis got phased out, and then the greens, dress blues, and even the blues changed.
Yeah.
Because my blues still have like the stripes all the way up the sleeve on both sleeves, and they changed that all around, and now they're with the pinks and greens. So.
Yeah, it's a lot of different changes, and the Marine Corps still has always worn the same ones.
Yeah.
Figure.
That's a traditional uniform for them.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. Is that the old saying? But it's the way it goes, I guess. Another question, for you is how do you navigate unique dynamics of being a military veteran, and work, how you as a military veteran and your as like a husband. And what strategies do you use to maintain that strong connection with your spouse, as well as, the demand of your career while you're in the service, as well as your professional career outside the service now?
Well, it's funny because it's been very easy with my wife, because she technically served as I did. She
Yeah.
was a Department of the Army civilian. Every place we went, so we got married, we went to Fort Bragg. She had a couple of jobs, then she got into the civil service, Department of the Army, and she was a dental technician. So she basically went on base every day and worked at the dental clinic that I used to go to,
Yeah.
and but in a civilian capacity. And when we left and went to Germany, she worked a job, and then she got on the civil service while we were in Germany. So basically, every time I got moved, she had to move, and it wasn't an automatic job for her. She had to apply for a job.
Yeah.
So, she worked in Germany, and then we went to Hunter Army Airfield, Fort Stewart area. She got a job there. And even when I was in the reserve and in the Guard, she was still working active duty side on Hunter. And then when I went back active and we moved, she actually went to work as a Department of the Army civilian for the Army Reserve up here in Mass. So she did that, and then she retired with 30 years and 30 plus years in Department of the as a Department of the Army civilian.
Wow.
So we both kind of served. We both dealt with a chain of command, because the civilians, of course, they work for the green suiters that are there, and so it's been very easy for us to deal with my veteran status, so to speak, once I completed. And you also know that I do a lot of stolen valor investigations. That's something that really pisses me off. And I do a lot of those. I've got like stacks and stacks of records that I've checked.
Yeah.
People request things, and the amount of phonies that are out there is just ridiculous.
It's off the scale of how many people do it. And, as we were talking earlier, it's some of the people that do just, as we were talking, the Sarah, keep forgetting. Kavanaugh. How she just, worked for the VA, but then she became a post commander, got benefits, and it's like, that really pisses me off and a lot of other veterans off, because, again, stuff like that, it puts a damper to all the veterans trying to apply for benefits that can't get the benefits because of people like this that kill it for everybody.
And I think that's pretty much why I got involved with it. So I do have a YouTube. It's at MSG Retired. You can find me on YouTube, and I post videos. A lot of the videos are the more prolific ones that are really big in social media.
Yeah.
But I do many, many, many more that I don't ever even talk about unless they've got some type of a big social media presence. Then I'll get it out there in social media just to bring their fraud to the forefront.
Yeah.
But yeah, it taxes not only the benefits, but the services that are offered to disabled veterans.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
It takes away from them. It takes away from them, and it's very sad that people still to this day, and even prior, years of depriving veterans from services that they need and stuff like that. A buddy of mine, Andy, who he even wrote in his second book that he wrote of the rifle, he talked about of a gentleman who was stolen valor, and how this individual, like, he didn't say anything, or anything like that, when he first found out, because he took him back to Normandy and everything. I was like, realizing that, after realizing it, that he wasn't a veteran at all, it kind of didn't sit right with him. But he didn't speak to the gentleman after the fact, after he dropped him off, just because it was like kind of like a sour thing in the back of him. But it's out there, and people do it. And as we were talking earlier, the whole thing with the hot places are like the VFW and American Legions, because again, it's another spot where people that are not veterans are going there. And
oh yeah, they're integrating themselves in, whether it be using false documents or knowing somebody or whatever. But yeah, it's. I mean, that Sarah Kavanaugh, she became the commander of a VFW post and never served a single day in the military.
Yeah.
That boggles my mind how she did that.
You know what it was, and I think it came out, it was part of, because she was working at the VA, she was using everybody else's document to create her own, which, like, how do you... I don't know. It again, it pisses me off seeing that, and then knowing people that do need it. Again, it's hard for them to get the help.
Yep.
Or they've
It is.
Organizations have provided their funding that they get from donations, that it's then hard for the actual real veterans to get the help from them as well. Or again, it slows down their process of getting the funds out to people that need it, just because of these phony individuals that are coming in and applying for these funds. So it's a sad thing that we have to live in. But there's a whole lot of mess that is sad that we're still living in this country right now. Can you discuss any importance of family support during your military deployments, which I know you've touched on already with your wife?
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. Now, my last combat deployment was in 06, 07, and my wife actually headed up a family support group.
Yeah.
For the unit, and that family support, they would meet once a month, and they would have a party. They'd do videos, and they would send us videos. Of course, we're talking like before the GoPros, before all the fancy little mini cameras and stuff like that. I mean, back then, everything, the highest quality stuff was the mini DV tapes and stuff like that. So they'd take videos. Cell phones were starting to get to where you could make videos with them, but they were horrible.
Yeah.
Back in 06, 07, they just weren't that good. But having that support, especially during a deployment, a combat deployment at that, is huge. Getting those care packages, getting that mail, it really keeps everybody's morale up and going. And also, it gives them a way to relate to other people going through the same experience. So, the family support groups, that was a big thing during the GWAT era.
Yeah.
And, that.
Which I remember, around that time of 06, they started to get the fancy phones, but I remember even in 2001, I got the Nokia cell phone that you still had to push, the same button, 3-4 times to just get to your letter that you wanted. And I think 06 was the Sidekick Slide, or the ID, And then I think
I think I had a razor.
I think '07 is when I got a razor. It was a silver one, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. It's a flip phone. You still got your screen there. You're still pushing the 6 or 7, 3 times to get to your first letter, or whatnot. And it's like, yeah, but it still was cool. But the graphics to it still wasn't anywhere near the whole GoPro stuff and all that.
And I want to say it was like '08, early '08 when the Blackberries came out.
Yeah.
And then that was the big deal. Everybody had to have a BlackBerry.
Oh, the games on those phones. Oh man, can you? What advice do you have for military families who may be facing the challenges related to deployments and the frequent locations and the overall demand on the military life?
So, for us, I was already in the military when we got married. So, and she worked on Fort Rucker, so she kind of knew it. Plus, she was a Navy brat.
Yeah.
But for a family, you have to be patient. You have to be understanding, and that goes both ways.
Yeah.
With each of that, and you have to be prepared for the time apart. So you need to work on your foundation.
Yeah.
I guess if you've got a good foundation, military life for a family is fantastic. If you've got a poorly grounded foundation, you're probably going to end up in divorce or worse.
Yeah.
But you really need to work on that base foundation and be very secure in your marriage, and things will work out.
That's some definitely good advice. I know, and it's a lot of advice that individuals get even when they first get into the service. They get, sometimes they may get the wrong advice of like, go get married right off the rip before you even go in, and it's sometimes it's not the choice to do, but again, it's to each its own. If you've already known the person, you've already built that relationship, it might be behoove you to do it, but I know there's a lot of people that just do it just because, again, it's you're getting a BAH, you're getting separation pay and stuff like that, but yeah.
Well, there is such a thing called contract marriages.
Oh,
I think it's more prolific in the Navy than it is anything else.
Yeah.
Just because of their sea deployments and stuff like that, it's easier for them to have a little contract marriage between a couple of enlisted people going on, and that way they get their extra money.
Yeah.
And that's it does happen. I'm just going to say that.
I don't doubt it. My last question to you is, how do you maintain a sense of connections to your comrades and stuff that your fellow veterans, since you've been out? Do you keep in contact with any or all?
So yeah, I do actually. I have a lot of friends that are veterans, and a lot of guys I served with, and a lot that I never served with. I think social media is fantastic for staying in touch. I don't know, 5-6 years ago, I reconnected with a couple of friends I went to basic training with.
Wow.
Hadn't heard from them in forever, and then I get a friend request, and 2 guys, I remember them. Eddie Ant, we'll just call him.
Yeah.
I think he did 1 enlistment. He was an MP. I forget where he was stationed, because everybody loses touch when you leave AIT and go your separate ways. But we reconnected. But he served as an Atlanta police officer, and retired, and now he's living happily in Florida with his wife, and we stay in contact. And I connect with a lot of different vets, of course, doing the Stolen Valor stuff.
Yeah.
I'll get a lot of veterans sending me emails saying, hey, check this guy out.
Yeah.
This is the biggest BS story I've ever heard. And we form a relationship. There's just social media has made it so easy to stay in contact with other veterans. And then you've got other you've got veteran websites like Rally Point.
Yeah.
And there's just lots of ways to stay connected to veterans. And there's a lot of organizations out there, like you said, the American Legion, the VFW. I ride motorcycles, so we've got like the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, which I was a member for a short period of time, but it wasn't my thing. I'm not much of a group rider and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of dropped out of that, but I still made a lot of friends there, and we still stay in contact and ride together. So
speaking of them, I just connected with a guy with the Combat Vet motorcycle group. That's kind of unique. You said that, and I'm like thinking in my head, like, yeah, I just contacted somebody with them. But
yeah,
as you speak about like social media and stuff, did it start off just with Facebook? Was it that's how they would find you, or
Yeah, it was mainly Facebook. Of course, I had to have. I was forced to get a Facebook account back in like 2005 because I was a platoon sergeant, and I had to watch my kids to make sure they weren't posting OPSEC shit on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
So it was kind of ridiculous that they forced me to get one, and then I had to friend all of my soldiers, and I had to be able to keep an eye on their social media stuff.
You had to be
because there were instances of people putting out some no, you should not be saying that, troop movements, times, dates, stuff like that. It's like, no, you can't do that.
It's like you got to sanitize that. You can't have it like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you had to be a parent to these soldiers, because even though some of them you look at and you're like, I shouldn't have to be a parent to you. How old are you again? Oh, you're 46, and you're acting like a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh man, I know there was another social media platform that was out there, which is MySpace. I know that, again, that's like people nowadays they hear Facebook, Twitter, and all this, and Instagram, and they hear now MySpace. What the heck is MySpace? Well, that was before Facebook.
Yeah. I never had anything to do with that, so.
Yeah, I know that was it was something that started. I believe that was right after I was. They started handing out the 250 hours of AOL internet access DVDs. That was like, geez, that was probably 99, 2000, 2001, I think it was, around that time frame. That's when everything was dial up. You had to wait.
Oh yeah. That's
but
those were weird times.
Absolutely. So you have your YouTube channel.
Yep.
We're gonna put all those links in the bottom of the comments. So if anybody wants to go check out his videos, feel free. They're going to be down there. When you do check out...
You feel free to post my email, the msgretired11@gmail.com.
All right.
If anybody has any questions about, any veteran claims or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to help. I can also help you get records. Even if you want your own records, go on the MPRC.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, I filed a request for my own records, and I got back like 480 something pages in a PDF file, and it had my entire military IPERM's record.
Wow.
So it's a good resource to get your records if you by chance lost them. I have all of mine, but there was some stuff in there I had forgotten about. So you can feel free to post my email, and if anybody's got any questions, I'm more than happy to help them out.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll throw that in there and put that down there. So when you guys go check out his page and everything, make sure you give him a like and follow, subscribe. Everybody needs those subbies. So put them out there. Until next time, you guys, we'll catch you guys on the flip side. And thanks again, Craig, and everything. Salute you, bud. And
thank you, brother.
You're welcome. And enjoy the rest of your guys' day. All right.
Shut up! Shut up!
Yeah. Shut up!
You suck!
Stop, in the name of all that which does not suck.
Thanks for watching Fubar Studios Veteran Reinforcement. Please make sure to check out the Fubar Studios on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and visit the website at fubarstudio.com. Fubar Studios is a Sinista1 Production.